The opening kickoff for the 2022 season is just mere days away. I'm so pumped for the season to start, which means fantasy football is back. So let's go ahead and break down the matches between the managers. My pick for match of the week. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. With that being said, Fantasy HYB, let's ride. What's going on, fantasy football folks? Fantasy HYB, and this is going to be the preview video for week number 1. NFL season is about to kick off in just a matter of days. So excited, so excited. Football is back here. It's been it's been a long while to actually get to this point here. I know the off season's a bit crazy. The off season was amazing this past season here. A lot of trades, a lot of the Broncos did acquire Russ Wilson here, which is probably one of the biggest acquisitions, aside also from Deshaun Watson, which, he's not going to be playing for a bit. Of course, the pending allegations. Also a really good rookie draft that came in. So, the offseason has been spectacular. I want to see how this plays out in the NFL season, which we're going to get into in just a matter of days. But that's not what this is about here. This is going to be the preview video for week 1, our matchups between the Fantasy HYB managers here. So let's go ahead and break down the matches for week number 1, starting off with my pick for match of the week. All right, so match of the week, I did pull for Mike and Mark, Team Ooks and Team Autumn Wind, respectively. On paper, this is going to be this is a pretty good matchup here. Let's see, Mikey is projected at 119.85, losing to Mark at 120.18. Now, of course, it's just a projection, which doesn't signify the final score here. But on paper, this looks like a really good matchup. So let's go ahead and see the players that they have in store here. At quarterback, Josh Allen taking on Pat Mahomes. Now, Josh Allen is taking on the LA Rams Thursday game, the opening kickoff game on Thursday. What can I say? Josh Allen is a really good quarterback, very pass-happy offense there. On the opposite side, Patrick Mahomes as well, taking on the Arizona Cardinals, Sunday, 10:25 Hawaii Standard Time here. Another good one here. Patrick Mahomes, we know what he's capable of, so that should be a pretty good matchup at quarterback. Running backs, Joe Mixon and Jonathan Taylor for Mike, and Josh Jacobs and Antonio Gibson for Mark here. Now, Antonio Gibson for Mark's team here, the news with Brian Robinson, unfortunately, he's probably going to be out for an extended duration for this season here. The rookie for the Washington Commanders there. So that should be poised for Antonio Gibson to actually come back to form. It's still left to be seen exactly what kind of role he's going to get. I know he does suffer from a bit of fumbleitis. So so it's still left to be seen exactly how that role is going to play out on the opposite end on Mike's team. Joe Mixon and Jonathan Taylor, pretty smash running back team. Let's go ahead and check out the wide receivers here. For Mike's team, we got Mike Evans and Alan Lazard. Mike Evans plays with Tom Brady. Tom Brady likes to pass the ball a lot. Alan Lazard, the number one, I'd say at this point, the number one receiver for Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers makes wide receivers. You got Jordan Nelson, Devontae Adams, in years past. So if he pulls off exactly like what he did in the previous seasons, Alan Lazard should be poised for a really fantastic outing this year. Let's go over to Mark's team here. Devontae Adams and Deontay Johnson. Devontae Adams, we know what he did in Green Bay. So, it's left to be seen what he can do with the Raiders, with that Derek Carr offense Derek Carr-led offense there. The only downside is that he also does have Josh Jacobs as his running back, so that kind of caps his upside just a little bit, but not by too much. We'll see how this offense goes for this season here. Deontay Johnson, according to this, he's still listed as questionable. I'm sure he's going to be ready for week 1. Again, I don't know how that offense is going to be in Pittsburgh. I believe Mitch Trubisky is taking the helm at quarterback position. I mean, he's a pretty capable quarterback, but there's still a lot of mouths to feed there. You got Najee Harris at the running back position. Also, you got Chase Claypool, George Pickens. And you also got Deontay Johnson there. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's jump over to tight ends. Dalton Schultz for Mike's team and Dallas Goedert for Mark's team. I mean, Dalton Schultz, really good outing the previous seasons with the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Goedert, same as well with the Philly Eagles. So, I mean, should be pretty good there. I mean, not top tight ends for the entire league, but they should be able to put up some points here. Projected at about double-digit points here. But tight ends past, tight ends 5 through 10 usually put up like some doo-doo points. I mean, you're kind of banking on a touchdown at that point there. For the flex position, Jalen Waddle. He should be ready for week 1. And we got Tyler Lockett over on Mark's team. Again, some question marks over in Seattle to see exactly how that offense is going to be. I believe Geno Smith is the head honcho quarterback there for the Seattle Seahawks. We'll see how Tyler Lockett is utilized. Doesn't have Russell Wilson. We have Russell Wilson now. So, we'll see how Tyler Lockett's season is going to be. And kickers, sorry, Bass. What is your name? Tyler Bass for the Buffalo Bills. Will Lutz for the New Orleans Saints defense, Patriots, and the Bills defense for Mark. So on paper, this should be a pretty good match of the week. This is my match of the week here. Let's go in and jump into our next match. Let's go with Still Lurking and the Pillow King here. All right, so we got Still Lurking. We got Ed and we got OG, Mr. Pillow King. False Pillow King here. I'm going to add that every time I speak of your name, Mr. OG. At the quarterback position, we got Joe Burrow for Ed, and we got Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson over on OG's team here. I mean, Joe Burrow, we've seen what he did. He led his team to the Super Bowl last season. He does have Jamar Chase catching his passes. So Joe Burrow should be pretty good. They are taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers divisional matchup. Usually divisional matchups. Not my favorite kind of matchups to play. I mean, these are two teams that know each other pretty well. So we'll see how they get that done in Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson flying back home to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Once again, I mean, a lot of question marks. We haven't seen this in the preseason very often, so we'll see how Russell Wilson will be utilized in Denver as far as his passing offense. We do have Nathaniel Hackett as head coach there. The former Green Bay Packer, Aaron Rodgers is offensive coordinator, I believe it was there, or head coach. Nope, offensive coordinator in Green Bay. So hopefully Russell Wilson gets those passes done. He also does have some rushing capabilities. In years past, I think that's gotten a little bit less. I don't have the stats out here, but let's go ahead and go right into the running back position. For Still Lurking, we got Christian McCaffrey and Aaron Jones. On the opposite end, Pillow King here does have Dalvin Cook and Travis Etienne. We all know what Christian McCaffrey can do. Past couple of years, though, he has been plagued with injuries. Still being drafted pretty high up there. I mean, at the 101, 102 position, even though that he's still injured, he is taking on the Cleveland Browns. We also got Aaron Jones here taking on the Minnesota Vikings. We all know what Aaron Jones can do. Pretty top back here. But without the Devontae Adams offense, out there. We'll see if he catch passes out of the backfield there. It should be a really good outing for Aaron Jones as well. Let's go on the opposite end here. Dalvin Cook and Travis Etienne. I've had Dalvin Cook last season. It was always scary to play Dalvin Cook here. He does have a history of getting hurt. So he does have Alexander Madison on his bench here, which is a good insurance pickup on the back end of the draft there to ensure his running back position in Minnesota. Travis Etienne, I mean, he wasn't playing last season, but so it is left to be seen what he can do here against the Washington Commanders. Should be a pretty good one as well. I mean, I am pretty excited to see some of these guys who weren't able to play last season actually get their chance this season. At the wide receiver position, let's go on. For still lurking, we got Stephon Diggs and Gabriel Davis for the Buffalo Bills. Oh, he is playing both. That is, wow. I mean, well, so you're playing both. Interesting. I'm actually pretty interested to see how this is going to play out here. So he does have both wide receivers, Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. Both playing on the opposite end of each other. Now, Buffalo is a very, very pass-happy team. We'll see who catches the touchdown. I mean, having both wide receivers does cap the upside just a little bit. Also, you do have what is that? You also have, just in case that a rushing touchdown happens. I mean, that kind of negates any points there. But maybe it's just a play. Again, final roster lineup on game day might change. I'll go ahead and put that out once we hit the recap video on Tuesday. On the opposite end here, Keenan Allen. Oh, I miss having Keenan Allen on my team, but I don't have Keenan Allen on my team this season. Keenan Allen and Justin Jefferson. Now, once again, so he also has Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson. So once again, capping the upside just a little bit here. I mean, he does have the air and ground attack, but you also do have the lurking threat of Adam Thielen, who might be able to catch some touchdowns this season as well too. So once again, might cap the upside just a little bit here. Shouldn't be too worried. I mean, air and ground attacks. Usually a stack that I'm not very comfortable is having the receiver and the running back with no quarterback. I mean, that is the tactic that I went with this season here. At the tight end position here, we have Kyle Pitts for the Atlanta Falcons and Mark Andrews for the Baltimore Ravens here. Mark Andrews topping out Travis Kelce as the tight end 1 last season, I believe, in half-point scoring. Kyle Pitts, I mean, he is a monster on the field here. Plays a wide receiver at a tight end position. I mean, if you can get those kind of stats here, he is poised to be a difference maker at the tight end position. Once you have a tight end that can make points, that is a very, very big positional advantage. Usually the top 3, top 4 tight ends score really good. Everyone else is pretty much, you're banking on a touchdown there. Let's go ahead and jump over to their flex. Adam Thielen for still lurking, and you got T. Higgins over on Pillow King's side here. So, I mean, if T. Higgins catches passes from Joe Burrow, I mean, obviously that will negate, I mean, kind of offset the points just a little bit there, a little cushion, so that they can't, that is a tactic that you can use in fantasy, is having the pass catcher for your opposite quarterback or your opponent's quarterback there to kind of cushion some of those points there. Kicker, you got Matt Prater and Harrison Butker. I've had Butker in the past. I think maybe like his first year, he did really, really well there. Other than that, I mean, he's been pretty subpar lately. Matt Prater, for the Arizona Cardinals, puts up some pretty wild numbers as well. And defense, the Bucks and the Chargers. Now the Bucks are taking on Dallas, and the Chargers are taking on the Raiders once again there for a divisional matchup there. So, yeah, that is left to be seen. If you can find a defense like several years ago, Saxonville Jaguars there, I mean, they were putting up massive numbers at the defense position. That will help your team if you can find one of these gems at the defense position. But that is long gone. Let's go over to our next matchup here. Let's go with the current champion taking on a former champion. You got 49ers for life taking on crack killers. All right, Mr. Newlywed crack killers. Congratulations, Paul. That is how I'm forever going to say your team's name, because there's like 4 Ks in there, I think. All right, so let's start off at the quarterback position here. The champion is rocking Tom Brady, and the challenger is rocking Kyler Murray. Tom Brady, I mean, a lot of question marks as far as what Tom Brady's year is going to be here. I think he's 45 years old now. Very, very old man. I mean, there is some drama coming out of Tampa Bay. I wouldn't say like drama, but I think he lost his offensive line. There's some question marks with his receivers. He had like that. He was gone from training camp for an extended period of time. So it's still left to be seen how Tom Brady is going to do here. I mean, never question the old man. That guy gets it done every time. So yeah, he is taking on the Dallas Cowboys Sunday night game there. And we got Kyler Murray on Paul's team here, taking on the Kansas City. Should be a pretty nice scoring game here. Kyler Murray does have this rushing upside along with his passing touchdowns here. So he is poised for a pretty good season here as well. At the running back position, James Conner and Najee Harris for 49ers for life. Derrick Henry and Alvin Kamara for Paul's team here. Pretty smash players at the running back position. We've seen what James Conner did in Arizona last season. I did have him on my team for like I think it's like for a week, and then I kind of dropped him. Kind of a mistake, because then he ended up just scoring touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. And then we have Najee Harris for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I didn't want to go after Najee Harris this season because I was not comfortable with the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. I don't know how the offensive line is going to be. New quarterback. So the thought of having a really great running back, but you can't move the ball as much, I mean, that kind of puts fear in me. So, I kind of backed away from Najee Harris. He was still available there. I did pick up, who was my first pick? Austin Eckler. So I did pick Eckler over Najee. And on Paul's team here, we got Derrick Henry coming off with that foot injury and Alvin Kamara. I mean, that's a pretty smash running back team there. 2 top caliber running backs here. I mean, we all know what Derrick Henry can do. That dude just puts the Titans on. Like that dude is the Titan. That dude is humongous. So again, if he gets like, I don't know, 30 attempts a game, puts up 3 touchdowns, I mean, you're looking at a really, 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 heavy points for Derrick Henry. Again, before he got injured, it took a while for Jonathan Taylor to catch up to his points. That's how far ahead he was last season. Now, it's still left to be seen how he is going to perform this season, but we all know what Derrick Henry is capable of. At the wide receiver position, Jamar Chase and Aquaminius, no, it's not Aquaminius, that's Amon-Ra St. Brown for the Detroit Lions. Taking on Tyreek Hill and Devonta Smith from the Philly Eagles. Jamar Chase, loved him last season. He did let me down in week 15, which was a huge, huge, huge bummer. I love you, Jamar. Amon-Ra St. Brown coming in as the second year for the Detroit Lions here. He was a fantasy darling at the very back end of the fantasy season last year. So hopefully this season he can actually put up some really great numbers here. Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes' number 1 target, no longer has Patrick Mahomes. He is now playing with Tua down in Miami. I mean, what can I say? That guy just runs past everybody. Once he gets behind the defense, that is it. I mean, it is so hard to actually catch him. Devontae Smith here for Paul's second wide receiver. I mean, Devonta Smith here, I think he had a couple of dud games last year, but hopefully this year, I mean, he can actually, where did my, break one here skedaddled away from me just a little bit. All right, cool. Devonta Smith here, once again. You do have AJ Brown on the opposite side here. So Devontae Smith, I mean, the coverage will go to AJ Brown. So hopefully that opens up room for Devontae Smith there. Tight end, you got George Kittle. Really great tight end for the San Francisco 49ers. Very key part of the Niners offense there, taking on the Chicago Bears there. And Pat Freiermuth for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Once again, a division matchup there. For the flex position, 49ers for life is rocking DK Metcalf, and Paul is rocking Damian Harris. Sorry, sometimes it's just brain farts. So Damian Harris for the New England Patriots here. He should be poised to be the starter there. I mean, you do have Ramondre Stevenson in the back as well. DK Metcalf for 49ers for Life's team. Once again, it is still left to be seen how they are going to perform this season under Geno Smith here. Kicker Evan McPherson and Daniel Carlson for the Las Vegas Raiders. Saints defense and the Colts defense. Now, the Colts defense is looking pretty good this season. And the Saints defense is also, they've been pretty well in years past. Let's go on over to our next matchup here. We got two more matchups to rock here. Let's go with the former 3-time back-to-back L to L to L champion G Raya 702, Scotty Boy there. We got John, aka Mr. COVID 49, Mr. Kicker in the fourth. All right, so Scotty's rocking Jalen Hurts at the quarterback position, and John is rocking Matt Stafford at his quarterback position. Both pretty good. Jalen Hurts is on the radar of a lot of people's sleeper picks as far as a quarterback. I mean, drafted a little bit later, but he does have the rushing upside, and he finished pretty high last season. Matt Stafford, I mean, it's still left to be seen how his elbow is doing for this entire season. He does have like a little elbow injury here, so hopefully that doesn't affect him too much. At the running back position, Scott's rocking Saquon Barkley and DeAndre Swift there. Now Barkley, once again, doesn't play for a great team anymore. I mean, he does play for the Giants, but he is that key piece of that offense. I mean, Daniel Jones helming the Giants quarterback position. I mean, other than that, I mean, there's like nobody else that's basically worthy of catching passes. I mean, you got, did we draft anybody here that was a Giant? I mean, Kadarius Toney, I think he's still on the waiver wire. Kenny Golladay, I think he's still on the waiver wire as well. I mean, yeah, just the Giants, they should be on Hard Knocks next season. People who end up on Hard Knocks tend to have really great seasons after. So hopefully the Giants end up on Hard Knocks next season. I'd like to see Saquon Barkley get back to some prominence, but he used to be a former first round pick within the fantasy community. I think now he gets slipped down to the second. You also got DeAndre Swift over running back for the Detroit Lions. I mean, this offense, I mean, last year, I mean, he did really, really well last season. And then I believe he brought Ed to, did he have Ed? Yeah, I mean, he won him some games there. So, never sleep on DeAndre Swift. On the opposite end there, John's rocking Raheem Mostert, Miami Dolphins, running back, and Leonard Fournette. I don't know how the running back position is in Miami. I know it is Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, and a carousel of other running backs there. So we'll see week one. I mean, week one does have a lot of question marks, which some of them do get answered as far as how offenses look with the full starting roster. I mean, no preseason rosters, so we get to see exactly how it looks like for hopefully for the duration of the next 17 weeks here. Leonard Fournette, once again, Tampa Bay running back. With the news here out of Tampa Bay, once again, I mean, we'll see how it is week one. I mean, I think he came to training camp a bit overweight there, so yeah, we'll see how Mr. Teddy Fournette actually does this season. At the wide receiver position, Cooper Kupp and A.J. Brown for Scott's team, Deebo Samuel and Chase Claypool for John's team. Cooper Kupp, outstanding receiver last season. Unfortunately, for this week, Cooper Kupp's quarterback is on the opposite team that he is facing. So that's going to cushion some of those points going over to each other's side. So, pretty good strategy tactic there. What else do we got here? We got A.J. Brown, the top receiver for the Philly Eagles, paid handsomely to join the Eagles to go ahead and give, Jalen Hurts another weapon there. So that receiver quarterback stack there should work out pretty well for Mr. Three-time champion. Let's go ahead. Deebo Samuel, quarterback, running back, tight end. I think some plays he might play defense. Mr. All-Arounder, playing, paid handsomely during the offseason there. He does have a minor leg contusion, but then, camp reports say that he should be ready for week one there. Chase Claypool, once again, I don't know how the offense is going to look like in Pittsburgh under Mitchell Trubisky at the quarterback position. Hopefully maybe this season, they'll make that switch over to Kenny Pickett, and we can see how the future might look in Pittsburgh. At tight end position, Dawson Knox, once again, very pass-happy team over at Buffalo. Dawson Knox, darling pickup last season. I think halfway through the season, I think he broke his finger out a couple games, but still a pretty good receiving option there. Darren Waller for John's team. He's still listed as questionable. I believe is he still? Let's go ahead and check out if he actually reported to training or if he actually reported back to practice here. I don't see any news. So he did miss most of training camp there. I think he was in contract talks, so we'll see how he performs. Usually people who don't end up going to training camp kind of suck. So, yeah. We'll see how Waller does this season. At the flex position, you got Amari Cooper for the Cleveland Browns and Russell Gage over on the Buccaneers. Now, once again, Amari Cooper, we don't know how that offense is going to look like with a Jacoby Brissett-led Browns team. Usually the Browns are very run-heavy out of the backfield. You do have Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. So we'll see how this receiving core will fare without Deshaun Watson for, I believe it's 12 total weeks, 11 plus the bye. So we'll see how that will shake out in Cleveland. Russell Gage, once again, he's still questionable. I don't know if he returned back to practice. I don't have any news on that. Kickers, Matt Gay, Robbie Gould. What can I say? Kickers are kickers. Some of them actually do really, really well here. Defense, this should be a pretty good one. The Ravens against the Jets and the Niners against the Bears. So at the defense position, pretty good pickups for this week's defense position. think we ran through everyone except for the last game here, which is myself and Venus Sky. Not the official Venus Sky, but a Venus Sky. So we got me and Caesar. King Pillow Knight is taking on Venus Sky here. Let's go ahead and run through our players. I do have Justin Herbert at the quarterback position against Aaron Rodgers from the Green Bay Packers. Should be a pretty good one as well. It is still left to be seen how our teams will fare out week 1. Running back position, I got Austin Eckler and Javonte Williams. I love my running backs this season here. Very happy for some Javonte to finally get the lead dog role there in Denver. Austin Eckler. Very hesitant in the past to pick up Austin Eckler just because of how there'll be days where he'll end up injured and then he'll play. So, you know, there's always that lurking injury-ness to Austin Eckler. But he did fantastic last season. Hopefully he can maintain that this season. Let's jump over to Caesar's team here. Ezekiel Elliott and Elijah Mitchell. Now, the Dallas Cowboys did lose one of their offensive linemen there. So it's going to be left once again to be seen how this offense is going to fare with the running game. So, yeah, hopefully Ezekiel Elliott doesn't score as much points as I think he's going to score. I mean, but they are taking on Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has a pretty good defense there. So, you know, maybe they might be able to stop Ezekiel Elliott. Yes, I am hoping they stop Ezekiel Elliott because I do want to walk away week 1 with a win here. Elijah Mitchell. What can I say? Elijah Mitchell was another darling of last season here. Did bring 49ers for life a championship or helped her get there. So we'll see how this scheme goes once again with a very run-heavy 49ers team. At the wide receiver position, I did take Michael Williams and I have Michael Pittman as my receivers. I love Mike Williams. Got him late in the draft here, so I do have the air and ground attack for the Chargers. I am on board with the Chargers having a great season this year, although I know that we are in division. So rushing touchdowns for Austin Eckler and then passing touchdowns, either a stack to Mike Williams or to Keenan Allen. So I should receive some of those points there. Hopefully if they put up, I don't know, even if it's like 3 touchdowns, if I get 1 from Eckler and 2 from Herbert, 1 going to, I don't know, Keenan and 1 going to Mike Williams, I mean, it should be a pretty nice set of points there. If I played my cards right and actually bet on the Chargers, hopefully it'll pay out this season. Michael Pittman, I want to see how he does with Matt Ryan out in Indy. They are playing against Houston, so I don't know how the defense is. Maybe it's a lot softer this year. Maybe he might put up some points this game here against Houston. Also, we got CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Ayuk. Now he is rocking. Now Caesar is rocking the air and ground attack for Dallas as well with Ezekiel Elliott and CeeDee Lamb. Although both of our teams here, we do cap each other's ups, like not each other, but then we do cap the upside with having that kind of approach. Oh, it's actually been pretty popular for our league this year to have both the running back and a receiver. I think there's like 2 other teams that had it. Let me go back and check later on there. Yeah, so CeeDee Lamb, I mean, the top passing option there in Dallas. Brandon Ayuk. Oh, he has both. Wow, interesting choice, Caesar. So you have the air and ground attack for Dallas, and you have the air and ground attack for San Fran. Did not see that. But hey, you know, you're capping your upside just a little bit. but never question a former champion as well. So, chances are I might just take an L, who who knows. Tight end position, I am rocking with David Njoku this year. Once again, Jacoby Brissett likes to throw to his tight ends. So I'm hoping he does that in Cleveland. Now, Njoku is a pretty good tight end. He does not have the stats to prove it as far as like in years past, but as far as athletic wise, dude looks pretty jacked. Because I am taking on Travis Kelce, Kansas City Chiefs tight end, number 1. I believe he's going to be the number 1 option there in Kansas City. I mean, you do have Juju, you have Valdez Scantling on the opposite end as well. Sky Moore is also there. But Travis Kelce, tried and true, should be Patrick Mahomes' top receiving option there in Kansas City. And on the flex side here, Clyde Edwards-Helaire on my team, Cordero Patterson over on Caesar's team here. I mean, Cordero was really good last season, so it's still left to be seen. I know I've been saying that all for a lot for this video because it is week 1. There's still a lot of question marks which needs to be answered. I know we're not going to get everything out of week 1, but then, we'll see how the offense will look going in full force this season. Cordero Patterson, running back, plays like a wide receiver. So he's going to catch passes out of the backfield, which is very, very valuable in a PPR league here. Ours is only half point, but still 0.5 points plus some yards out of the backfield. I mean, 0.5 is equivalent to 5 yards. So if he just catches a pass for 0 yards, I mean, he basically ran 5 yards without having to move his feet. Our kickers, I do have Ryan Suckup for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Younghoe Koo also for Caesar. And defense, I did take the Denver Broncos. I usually stream my defense position. So unless, maybe I picked up a gem with the Denver Broncos there, but they are taking on Seattle. It should be a pretty soft matchup there for the Broncos. Hopefully, we'll get aside just from a W here, but, like a pick 6 or some sacks. We don't know how I believe the Seattle defense is not the same as years past. No more Legion of Boom happening there. And Caesar's rocking the Dallas Cowboys, taking on Tampa Bay. That's going to be a pretty tough matchup on paper. I mean, it is Tom Brady. That guy likes to throw touchdown after touchdown. But this is the first time I'm actually looking at Caesar's team here. I mean, he does have 3. No, he has 2. 1, 2, 3 Dallas, 2 San Fran, and 2 Atlanta players. Yeah, I mean, maybe he's going to plug in Lamar Jackson on his... he's probably going to end up plugging one of these rookies in eventually later on down the line. Other than that, that is it for your week 1 preview video. Good luck to everyone. Good luck to all of you managers. Now again, there can only be 5 winners and 5 losers for our league here. So obviously not everyone is going to win here, but good luck to all of you guys here. I'll catch you guys back in the recap video. Well, we'll go ahead and recap the winners and the losers. Until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, give the business, handle the business. I'll see you guys back next time. Thank you guys so much for watching.